What's going on? It's Football Dispense here with another video in the Transfer Talk series. And this time I'm going to be talking about Burnley, who I have been really impressed with since they've came up. They've spent next to nothing. They broke their record transfer through George Board for about 3 million quid, who I watched at Hull last season and I thought it was a little bit of a joke. I've got to admit he's done pretty well since going in at Burnley. He's really stepped up to the plate as one of the senior players with a bit of Premier League experience. So, I've been fairly impressed with him. Sean Dyche has worked wonders to even get them where they are now. You know, they're currently sitting 17th in the table outside the relegation zone, which is massive for them. And the big thing for them is making sure they keep Danny Ings at least till the end of the season. I know he's out of contract, and you might potentially lose him towards the end of the year. But it's vital that you keep him. You know, he's got 7 league goals in his first season in the Premier League, which is good for a young English striker. It is promising. I know there's interest from Tottenham and Villa. There's been a couple of links as well, but it's vital that Burnley keep him if they want to have any chance of staying up. You know, he's contributed to a third of their goals in the league this year. Another one that really has done well, Scott Armfield from the right. He's created goals. I'll go back to the first game against Chelsea. His strike in the 3-1 defeat, he put them 1-0 up. It was a lovely goal. He really has played well for me this season. And as well, I think Keane, the young lad that he just signed from Manchester United, has been very good in his first full season in the Premier League. He's performed with Shackle. You know, they haven't been the best defensively. You know, they're still league 36 goals, but it could be a lot worse. You look at teams like QPR have let in more than them, and you would expect them to, with the defence they have, maybe have a bit more of a solid defence. But these boys, Shackle, me, Keane and Trippier, who again I'll go on to have done really well. Trippier is a real good player. I love how he gets forward. He works so hard, and he is a solid right back. And if Burnley do go down this year, I can see a Premier League team coming in for him because he's got a good cross for the ball. I say he works hard and gets forward really well. So yeah, that's another one Burnley have got to really look at trying to keep hold of, because I'm sure there will be interest in him. I think that the weakest areas you've maybe got to look at is probably your central midfield. You know, I was looking through the squad, and you got Chabala, Matty Taylor, Dave Jones, and Dean Marney. Chabala's a decent player. He doesn't play enough. Dave Jones, is he capable of playing all these games now? He's getting on a little bit. I know he's got experience in playing with Wolves in the Premier League, but is he really Premier League quality? And I think at the end of the day, that is what Burnley are lacking, is Premier League quality. Really, you probably take Danny Ings, maybe Trippier out of that team, and you're really struggling, I think. I know you got players like Kitely, again was at Wolves and got a few goals, but that was Championship level when he was scoring 20 a season or whatever it was, and he really hasn't made the impact that you might think. I know Vokes has been out injured quite for the season really, so it'll be a big boost when you get him back, and Vidic is back pretty soon as well. But as I say, the thing that gets me on Burnley is they need quality to stay in the league. Sean Dyche has used the money from getting promoted to he's invested in the facilities of training and stuff, which is admirable. But if he wants to stay in this league, he needs to invest in this team. As I say, the central midfield, maybe just to get a little bit more quality. And someone you have been linked to, and I think would be a good signing for you, is Graham Dorrans. He's been in the league a long time. He was linked with Man City about 4 or 5 years ago. So he is a talented player. He can get goals. I've seen him score goals for Albion. If you sat him in there with Jones or Marnie or even Shabalala if he came in and tried to do a bit of a job. You know, that to me is looking a bit more solid and got a bit more creativity in there, I've got to admit. So Graham Dorrans would be a fantastic signing. You've got to keep Danny Ings. Ashley Barnes, who hasn't done too bad either. You got that scream at White Hart Lane not too long ago. So yeah, that's all I really have to say on Burnley. I know they haven't really got the funds. I hope they stay up because they're a good team. They're a good fan base. I really like Sean Dyche and they're an honest, hard working side. So if you can get Dorrans in, maybe one or two more in loan. I'd say maybe a bit of cover on the wing for Armfield, maybe a bit more quality up front as well. I mean, I know the wages were a big thing, but someone like Darren Bent, who's gone to I think it's Nottingham Forest or Derby now. Yeah, he might have been a very good signing. I know his wages are high, but he's going to get goals at any level. So maybe that's someone they could have looked at to get to partner Ings up front. I think that would have worked as well with Ings' work rate and Bent. Not the highest worker in the world, but if you get balls into him low, he will score goals, there's no doubt. So yeah, that's it for Burnley. Next up's Chelsea, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.